Hello dear students, how are you all? Hopefully you are doing well. Today we are going to discuss about chapter 3.5, our last lecture it is, and this chapter is content the tank versus pipe related maths and the rest of the maths of 3.5. And you already know that this is your third and last lecture, and this is a little bit history, and the father of the algebra is Muhammad Al Khwarizmi, and this is Shah sir, lecturer of mathematics, Milestone College. Okay, today we are discussing about tank versus pipe related math. What actually is a tank versus pipe related math? We have to just clear our basic. What actually these types of math says. Generally, in these types of math or in these types of contents, they are talking about two pipes. One generally just water in the water in the tank, and another one is water out from the tank, so it will be just exit line, and this is the in line where the generally water entered into the tank. Okay, this is the main concept. So if we think that these two are that types of pipe where just water come through it and water go down from there. Okay, but interestingly, today we are going to solve these types of very hard and tough math by using very shortcut formula. First of all, First of all, a pipe can fill up an empty tank in 12 minutes. Another pipe flows out 14 liters of water per minute. If the two pipes are opened together and empty tank is filled up in 96 meter, how much water does the tank contains? That means a pipe can fill up the empty tank by 12 meter. That is our first pipe that will fill the tank by 12 minutes, and another pipe will flow out, so the water will be exist 14 liters of the water per minute. And if two pipes are opened together, then the empty tank is filled up in 96 meter. How much water does the tank contain? That's our question. And generally we will solve these types of math with a shortcut formula, that is required time is equals to both pipes in minute into pipe can fill the minute divided by both pipe in the minute minus pipe can fill in the minute. So here both pipes in the minute, that is actually we are talking about this part. Both pipes means two pipes are opened together and the empty tank is filled up in 96 minutes, so we need this value 96 and into pipe can fill in minute, that is the empty tank in 12 minutes it will be filled. So 96 into 12 minus both pipe minus pipe can fill, that is 96 minus 12. If we use these types of shortcut formula, then we get the value of the required time. And if for 1 minute it flows out 14 liter, so what about for this minute? Just multiply these two, then you will get your required answer. So how much time does the tank contain? So the liter will be 192 liter of water is contained in the tank, and this is the very shortcut formula for using or the for solution these types of math. So what we are doing, for in a nutshell, I wanted to give you the fact, that is the both pipe in the minute and the pipe can fill the empty tank. We will just multiply these two, then subtract these two. This is the first part. Second part is, since per minute it can flow out for 40 liter, so what about for this minute? So since this total amount of water can be emptied by from the tank, that means actually 192 liter are contained in the tank. That's why our answer is 192 liter. Okay, let's have a look for our second math. Here is given a tank is filled up in 12 minutes by a pipe. Another tank flow out 15 liter of water per minute or in 1 minute. When the tank remains empty, the two pipes are opened together and tank is filled up in 48 minutes. How much water does the tank contains? So here is talking about a tank is filled up in 12 minutes in a pipe. So this number is very much needed for our formula, and two pipes are opened at together, then it can be filled by 48 minutes, so it is also needed. So how can we do this? Yes, required time will be both pipe into pipe can fill divided by both pipe minus pipe can fill. That is 12 into 48 divided by 48 minus 12, and we get 16. That is the required time. And since 1 minute per minute actually pipe flows out 15 liter, so what about 16? Just multiply these two values, then you will get the water content in the tank. So our answer is 240. I think you can understand this math very easily. Okay, then our since that those two are very much shortcut to you, but if anyone think that no, we are going the as usual formula, that's for that reason I keep this math for you. Okay, two pipes are contained with a tank. The empty tank is filled up in T1 minutes by first pipe. It becomes empty in T2 times by the second pipe. If two pipes are opened together, in how much time will the tank be filled while T2 is greater than T1? What actually T2 and T1? For in T2 minutes, actually tank become full. It become empty in T2 minutes, and in T1 minutes actually it is filled. The empty tank is filled up to T1 minutes. Okay. Suppose our total tank equal 1, or the capacity of tank, we will assume that it is 1. In T1 time, tank can be filled up to 1. So what about up to 1? That means the full tank. We're just according to our question here is talking about T1. It can be emptied. So in T1 time, tank can be filled up to 1. That is, for 1 time it will be 1 by T1. Since T2 time, tank can be emptied into 1. So what about for 1? It will be 1 by T2. Then in one time, that is, this is in one time, and this work is also one time. So in one time, since both two pipes are open, so these two will be work together. And since one part is emptied and one part is just filled, so these two will be absolutely negative. So 1 by T1 minus 1 by T2, then it will be T2 minus T1. And finally, so this part can be filled into 1 minute. So what about the one, that is a full tank can be filled up to this minute? So this is our required answer. Okay, and this is the one types of miscellaneous problem where P equal to BR. We have to use this formula for 3 or 4 maths in your chapter 3.5. Here there is talking about P equal to BR. What actually P, B and R? P is actually part of the percentage, and B is total quantity, and R is the rate of the percentage. If the rate of percentage is S, then it will be S by 100, that is S percentage. Okay, so this is the formula for P equal BR. Okay, let us have a look for math for it. That is, for a function of annual sports, member of an association made a budget taka 45,000, decided that every member would subscribe equally, but 5 members refused to subscribe. As a result, amount of subscription of each number increased by taka 15 per head. How many members were in the association? Actually, there is a budget for certain number of people where total budget was 45,000. But suddenly, some of the members think that they will be not going for that, but they will not refuse to subscribe. Then member of the was the 5 members. They are thinking that they will refuse the subscription. For that reason, all of the members who are participate, they have to give extra 50 taka for per head. So question is, how many members are in the association? It's a very easy math. Just let us have a look, or let us assume that the number of the members will be X, and the amount of the subscription was Q. So 45,000 taka, it will be given by X person, and every person will give Q taka. So just multiply these two, then you will get your full number. So according to question, it will be QX equal 45,000. But the problem is there was 5 person or 5 members who will be refused. So five member will be reduced. That's why total 5 member will be reduced from the total member, and 15 taka will be increased for each person. So previously they were given only Q taka, but right now they have to give extra 15 taka per head. That means Q plus 15. So by this two multiplying, actually it will be QX. Okay, these two our equation constructing. Then just comparing these two, we can say this part equal this part. Yes, from equation 1 we are just going for calculation, that is Qx equal this, just multiply both of that, then Qx, then x in 15, then 15x, 5 into q, then minus 5q, minus 5 into 15, that is minus 75. Then qx gone, then 5q will be equal to 15x minus 75, then 5 will be taking x common, then q equal 3x minus 15. Okay, then we can put the value of q in here, then it will be the value of 3x minus 15 into x equal to 14,000, 45,000. Now just multiplying 3x square minus 15x equal this, in every part 5 will be, or 3 will be gone, so divided both sides by 3, then you will get this. Then just going for the middle fact, you will get your answer of x. Here x equal 125 and x equal minus 120, but the question is what actually the x? X is our number of members, so members cannot be negative. That's why the answer will be 125. So number of members of the association is 125, and that's our required answer. Okay, next question is very much similar. For a meeting, a bus was hired at Taka 2400, and it was decided that every passenger would have to give equal fare. But due to the absence of 10 passengers, fare per head was increased by 8 taka. How many passengers did go by the bus, and how much money did each of the passengers give as fare? So first, what actually happened? There was some person who are thinking that they will go by giving equal fare. So and our total on the time total money was this. So how can we construct the value? Suppose the number of members is x and amount of subscription is q. So just multiplying these two, we should have to go 2400. But the problem is now the member of the subscription was absent for 10. So 10% were absent. So the value 10 will be subtracting from total number, it will be x minus 10. And 8 members, 8 taka per head was increased, so taka will be increased. So q plus 8, that equals to our total taka, that is 24,000. Now from 1 and 2 we can calculate, just xq equal this, since right side equals, and then we can write left side equal left side. Then just calculate it, you will get x qx 8x minus 10 into q. Here q equal 24,000 by x. How we can get it? Just change the side of x from here, then q equal 24,000 by x. Okay, you may give a side note like this from 1. Okay, it will be more good. Then 8x square minus 80x minus 25,000 is equals to 0. Then taking 8 as common, then it will be x square minus 10x minus 3000 equals 0. Just middle fact, then you will get your answer, where x equal 60 and x equal minus 50. Since member cannot be negative, that's why it will be 60. Clear? Okay, now from 1, just putting the value of x in here, then you will get the value of q equal 2400 divided by 60, and this is nothing but the 40. So our number of subscription, or the number of member was 60, and each of them have to give 440 taka per head. Okay, okay. Now piece of a book is taka 24. This price is 80% of the actual price. The government subsidized the due to price. How much money does the government subsidize for each book? So it's a very tricky math. We can solve like this way. Suppose market price is 80%. That means, market price will be 80% of the actual price. Since 80% was of the actual price, 80% will be our market price. Here we know P equal BR. Here P is our price of the money, that will be 24, and R, that is the rate, and rate is 80%, so it will be 80 by 100. And we know a formula, that is P equal BR. So here B into P, R, B into R is 80 by 100, and P, that is the piece of the book, that will be 24. Then we get the value of B. Then the actual price of the book will be, after calculating, 30. So what about the subsidize? Just subtract this to 30 minus 24, then 6. So our government subsidize for each book was 6 taka. Okay, thank you. Now there is some miscellaneous problem for you. Here we are just talking about some unitary method where there is some direct version. Okay, have a look some maths related about this too. Here is talking about Mita can do a work in 10 days. Rita can do that work in 15 days. In how many days will they together complete the work? I think this math is very much easier to you, because in 8 JSC level you already covered these types of math. But you may go for this way. Suppose our total work is 1. In 10 days, Mita can complete it 1. So what about for 1 day? It will be 1 by 10. Similarly, what about for Rita? So that will be 1 by 15. Why? Because in 15 days, Rita can complete 1. So what about 1? Just 1 by 15. Together they will complete. So together in 1 day, so they will be work together. So it will be in 1 days together they can just addition this two. Then they can work 6 1. Okay, 1 by 6. But our question says how many days will be needed. So 1 by 6 part to complete they need 1. So 1 by 6 part can do in 1 days. What about the 1 part? 1 part means our total work. Then this is our answer, and it is 6. Okay. Our next question says, it's a very tricky one. Divided taka 260 among A, B and C in such a way that 2 times the share of A, 3 times the share of B and 4 times the share of C is equal to each other. It's a very easy one. 2 times uh, is equals 2 times the share of A, 3 times the share of B and 4 times the share of C are equal. That means A, B and C, where A will be 2 times, B will be 3 times and C will be 4 times. We are just letting here A got X, B got um, what Y and C got Z. Just multiplying 2x, 3y and 4z. And according to question they are equal. Okay. Now just x plus y plus z equal to 260. Why? Because this three amount if we add, then we get actually 260, because 260 taka have to be given to each other. Okay, that's why according to question we can say x plus y plus z equal to 160. And from here look at that, if x, if we just free in x, then it will be x equal, just 2 will be going under here, so x will be 4z by 2. So from at the place of x we can write 4z by 2. At the place of y we can write y equal 4z by 3, and z will be remain as usual. Then 2z plus 3z, 4z by 3 plus z, then it will be just uh, you have to go for LCM. Then 3 into 2 6, and 6 plus 4 it will be 10 plus 3, so 13 is equal to this, because 3 will be multiplying with this, and then you will get the value of z. And y, that will be y with the relation of z is what, y equal to 4z by 3, so 4 by 3 into z. And x, that will be the relation with 4z by 2, that is x equal 3 by 2 into z. Then this is our required answer. Okay. Now 10%, this is the very important question for you. Sometimes you take a lot of time and you need to careful about this math. 10% can do a work in 7 days by working 6 hours a day. Working how many hours by day can 14 persons finish the work in 6 days? So what actually here is given? Person is given, day is given, hour is given. Here is also person given, day given. You need to find the hour. We will go a shortcut formula to you, that is MDIs equal to MDIs. MDIs equal to MDIs. First part M, that is man, 10 man, so M1 equal to 10, D1 equal to 7, and H1 equals to 6. Here D2 equal to 6, M2 equal to 14, and H2 we have to find. So here is just M is man, D is day, H is hour. And the first second time M is for man, D is for day, and H is for hour. Then we get M1 D1 H1 equal M2 D2 H2. Just after calculating you get the H2. So very easily we can solve these types of math. So it's a shortcut for you. You may go for this. Now A and B together can do a work in P days. A alone can do the work in Q days. In how many days can B alone the work to do? Okay, let us assume that our total work is 1, and Q days, for Q days A can be work. So in Q days A can work in 1, this total work, and in 1 days A can work 1 by Q. And for B it will be A and B together. So in P days A plus B can do 1 work, and for 1 days A plus B can work 1 by P. So if B alone have to do, then it will be total minus A. So B can alone do total work minus A work, or I mean A plus B work minus A work, then it will be the B work. And B can do actually A plus B minus A, and this is how actually it is come 1 by P minus 1. You no need to write this part if you can understand this part. Okay, now shortcut of some interest math. Actually our second lecture and first lecture were talking about simple interest and compound interest, but some of you are talking about that you can understand the shortcut of these two, that's why I repeat it. Okay, don't worry. If you have clear idea from the lecture 1 and lecture 2, then I think no need to understand again. But if you have problem, then I think from this lecture you can understand how the simple and compound interest math can be done very easily and shortcut formula. Okay, what actually the compound interest and simple interest, you need to understand it at first. Generally simple interest will go the similar way, but the compound interest will be interest up the interest upper the interest, but that's why it will be gradually increased. That's the compound interest, and after the passes of time, it will be shows a huge difference between these two interest. Okay, have a look at math. What will be the profit of principal of taka 750 in 4 days at simple interest of 6.5% per annum? That means we have to find a simple interest where there is given the principal, I mean P is given, and 4 years, that is time N is given, and the percentage, that is R is given, and we need to find the profit. And we know it's a very easier math to you, that is P equal this, N equal our time, and R equal the rate, and I we have to find. So I equal P N R by 100. Just putting these values in here, then you will get your answer. Okay, I think this math is the place where you are facing so much difficulties, because it is in compound interest math where the principal is given, that is 2000 in 3 years at compound interest of taka 4% per annum. Okay, you may use the formula, no problem, but you need to understand how the shortcut use, and it's a very easier and very effective math for you. What actually here is given? Here is given the principal. Okay, here is principal was 2000 taka, isn't it? Yes. And here the rate is given, that is 4%. So what about the 4% of 2000? That will be 2000 into 4%, that means 2000 into 4 by 100. Just 2020 gone, then it will be 8 taka. So our 8 taka will be the interest, and that will be known as the simple interest. And this simple interest can be say like this: every year the person will get 80 taka as simple interest. That's why I have been given this, that there is the first year, second year, third year. Here is talking about 3 years. That's why we are right as 3 years. Okay. In first year, simple interest is 8. Second year, simple interest is 80, and third year simple interest is 80. So in the simple interest there will be no sense. In every year simple interest will be remain same, but the compound interest, we know already that we have the basic from the first lecture that generally interest upon the interest. So in first year no problem, but in second year the 4% come from that interest. So 4% of 80, that will be 30, 3.2 actually. 4% of 80, that will be 3.2, and the next part will come by multiplying with 2. So 3.2 into 2, that will be 6.4. Then this 0, then again 4% will come from immediate past person. So it will be 4% of 3.2, that will be 1.124. Here 3.2, 6.4, and 0.128. This is the difference between, if you add these three, then this is the difference between SI and CI, that is simple interest and compound interest. Okay, so our difference is 20.61, and our compound interest, if you wanted to find, then add all of this. So these three if you add, then this is our simple interest and the difference of this. So if you add all, then you will get the compound interest. So our compound interest will be 240 plus 20 plus 61, that will be our total compound interest. Okay, but if you have no basic of compound interest, please see the first lecture, then you can understand what actually basic compound interest says. Hopefully you can understand all of the maths. Okay, thank you very much. Stay with the beauties of mathematics, and hopefully this lecture, I mean, this 5.3.5 is very much benefited to you. I have used a lot of shortcut for you, and if you faces to solve the math the legal way, you may use this shortcut for your exam. Okay, best of luck. Thank you very much.